First, I want to introduce my wife, Lynn, right here. And then we have three special guests. It's their first fair. Mance, Howard, and Charlotte, right here, our grandchildren. They love the fair. Last year, I urged you to go vote in a special election for Donald J. Trump. And guess what? I have to say I am so excited to have my president back in office. He has stopped illegal immigration, lowered taxes, stopped wars, destroyed nuclear sites, made record trade deals, and he even changed the formula for Coca-Cola. What a guy. I want to go over real briefly last year's accomplishments with you, and then I want to talk about the future. That's what most people are interested in, and that's what I want to talk about today. As you know, we've chartered the elimination of the individual income tax in Mississippi. When I told you we were going to cut $500 million the last time, now we're cutting $1 billion in your taxes. I told you the grocery tax was too high. We cut the grocery tax from 7% to 5% this last year. For the first time, our transportation department has the money to do the maintenance. If you came through Carthage, you saw the work that's being done on our roads. When you ride down this county road, guess what? The counties get $100 million more a year in the next few years to do maintenance on our county roads. That's so important to Mississippi. The public employee retirement system was broke and getting broker. And guess what? We finally addressed it to where it will be solving in the future. And you know what else? Everybody that deserves and everybody that has earned the contributions they paid and we paid to their retirement, every one of them will receive their retirement benefits just like you promised them to do. And guess what else? We fully funded education the second year in a row. No debate. We funded it $2.97 billion. They used to fight about whether or not to fund education, but we did it this year. We fully funded your education savings accounts. That's for kids, special needs kids. There used to be a waiting list. Almost 2,000 kids couldn't get their help in their special needs. They got it this year. There's no waiting list left. We created a division of autism in the mental health department. It's very special, Lynn and I. We created that department so that our kids, 1 in 31 children are born autistic. Every one of you here knows somebody in some family that has an autistic grandchild or an autistic child. And they deserve to have the same possibilities and probabilities of success that you have. So that division will start this next year. This year we're going to announce a one-door policy. If you come into Mississippi and you apply for employment benefits, you're going to apply for a job. We made child grooming a crime. Who would have thought of that? We had to make child grooming a crime in Mississippi. The opioid crisis has proliferated. We named our committee to spend $200 million this year so that we don't have the opioid crisis we've had in the past. We made your city safer by panhandling. You now have to have an actual permit to do that, and you can't have squatting people on your property. All of those came out of last year. In 1 year we did that. But that's not all of them. Here's where we're going. In case y'all been living under a rock somewhere, Mississippi tested in the national test. In the national test, we tested 16th in the country in education. People want to talk about Louisiana and Arkansas and Alabama. They're 35th, 36th, and 37th. Mississippi is 16th in this country. Not only that, when you look back at what we've done over the last few years, our fourth graders are first in their gains, 9th in the nation overall. You know what else time now? Because when people work hard and succeed like that, you know what we need to do? We need another teacher pay raise. And when we did that teacher pay raise, our community colleges, they have struggling to keep these people teaching these various technical things. They can't keep teachers because they're making too much money outside. They need to be compensated the same as our institutions of higher learning. We need to keep our people that are teaching our kids compensated to keep teaching our kids. I want to tell you about one other thing. We're short about 2,000 teachers. We need to bring retired teachers back to work. And for some reason, we've been unable to do that. This year, there'll be legislation to allow them to come back to work where they're not penalized for rejoining our education workforce. They have a lot to contribute. I want to talk to you about something that's not going well, and something that I believe is the greatest risk we have in Mississippi. 24% of our children are not in school. They are chronically absent. 24%. If you think that doesn't apply to you, Scott County is 34%. Meridian, 32% chronically absent from school. Those kids have no chance for an economic future. We have to get our children back in school. You will see us push that this year. We need truancy officers in every school in Mississippi knocking on the door, where is your child? And if it's inconvenient for you, maybe you need to sit in front of a judge somewhere and tell them why your child's not there. Because it's inconvenient for me not to educate a generation worth of children. So we're both inconvenient. So we're going to do that this year. Chronic absentee is horrible. We'll pass in the Senate again this year. Cell phone use can't be used by our kids when they're in instruction periods. That passed the Senate last year. It's going to pass again this year. They don't need to be looking on their cell phone. Y'all, we have 200 agencies, boards, and commissions in Mississippi. 200 of them. Since y'all hired me, we've eliminated 1,500 state positions by attrition, by working harder, smarter. We've done that 1,500 of them, almost 10% of the workforce. And you're still getting your driver's license faster. We can do this, and when we go to look at these agency boards and commissions, I have something I want to know. What are they supposed to be doing? What are they supposed to be doing? What is their core function? And do they need to even exist? That's what we'll be looking at in our organization structure this year, and you should anticipate that we're going to have a significant reorganization of state government so that you can get to your state government faster, more economical, less red tape, and less cost. That's where we're headed. In our military, I had the privilege of being in the White House just a week or two ago and visiting with the Secretary of Veterans Affairs, Doug Collins. I just visited with our Veterans Affairs officer here in Mississippi just a few minutes ago. We have significant issues with individual veterans coming back and committing suicide. They're not connected to the VA. Over 60% of the individuals who are veterans who commit suicide in our country never contacted the VA to help them. Never contacted them. So we have to have, when you're coming out, as I did out of the military, you have to join up for the VA. We have to have in Mississippi take care of our veterans. They've earned that. If you haven't read the book Dogwood, read it. It's about the 155th and its work when they went overseas to fight in Iraq. Several of them didn't come back. 2 of them that came back committed suicide. The book is very revealing. I recommend it for every single one of you to read about our military. It's a dangerous job, and we need to take care of them when they come home. When I went from Tupelo to Wilkinson to Natchez to the coast to Hattiesburg, all over Mississippi, going and meeting with people and meeting with these community leaders, what do you need for next year? I want to know, how can we help y'all? How can we get better? You know what they told me? We don't have any homes. We don't have starter homes for individuals to come here. When we bring business into the Golden Triangle, we don't have a place for them to live. So we need to start a process where we make starter homes available and affordable and attainable for people in Mississippi, and you will see that program coming out this year from the Mississippi Senate. Jackson's a capital city. You need to feel like you're safe when you come there. It should be a vibrant capital city. We'll be working to review a plan on how we make it more vibrant. We now are devoting over 150 officers, 2 judges to downtown Jackson. It's a safe place to come if you're going to Jackson State or going to UMMC or going to your capital. It's safe now, and we need to bring business back to our capital so it becomes vibrant again, and we'll be doing that. When we came back, when we went through the process of addressing the state retirement plan, one of the things we needed to do, and they told us they needed more money. So we're going to put in $187 million more per year into the state retirement plan. And this year, and that for the next 10 years, we need to put $100 million more than that in to make sure it's fully funded. So you'll see us passing a bill to have that. We need to grow our workforce. One of the problems we have in Mississippi is we're running out of workers. We've got all this business coming in here, and we don't have enough people working. So the way to do that, of course, is to take people who are currently working who want to upscale their job. They want to come up and they want to do a different thing that'll make more money, a better economic life. So you'll see us this year Reconnect program where you can go back to your community college tuition free and upgrade your skills. That upgrades Mississippi when we do that. I want to talk to you one other thing. President Trump has done more deals, raised the economy. It's unbelievable. And when we look at this, when I started looking at this just a few months ago, I noticed that we were accumulating cash in our account. And we've accumulated $1.4 billion in cash. That's in addition to the rainy day fund. That's in addition to the wind pool fund. So this year, you know what we need to do? We need to give the money back. This year, that's right, this year we're going to announce a $316 million tax rebate where we pay your money back to you that sent it to us. Last night, after I had written my speech and everything, I was listening to Fox News. And the newscaster came on and he said, the rebates are really a good thing. You know, we've made so much money off of tariffs that the Congress and the President are thinking about giving a rebate on your federal tax return. You know what my comment is? Come on in, man. The water's great. We'd love to have 2 rebates in Mississippi, not only ours, but another one. Again, we're a leader in this. Mississippi is in the best financial situation it's ever been in. It's been run by conservative leadership that y'all have been elected the last decade, and it's starting to show in education. We put over $2 billion in infrastructure, largest teacher pay raise ever. We're going to raise it again. We cut taxes like never before, over $1 billion. We're returning money to taxpayers. What they won't tell you in the press, we have paid off over $1 billion in state debt. So, and that's important because my 3 grandchildren are not going to have to pay off my debt. That's important to every single one of you. We've committed to good conservative government in Mississippi, and it's showing. And as I go forward here and look at our workforce, our families, look at what we're doing, look at what the potentials of the future are, there is no limitation in Mississippi on where we can go. The only limitation is what we don't dream good enough to go. Y'all hang with me. We're having great years. We're going to have even greater years. And Lynn and I and my 3 grandchildren appreciate the opportunity to work for you. Thank you so much. God bless you, and God bless Mississippi.